Hi everyone, thanks for joining me for this soothing blend of meditation, slow yoga, and painting, all focused on reflection and relaxation. It's designed for the winter solstice, but you can do it anytime you'd like to explore stillness and surrender. Before we get started, I want to share a few things for you to consider during our practice. First, as I've been thinking about the winter season, I keep coming back to the image of a still lake in the early morning and how when the water's quiet, it becomes very clear and reflects the sky perfectly. And for us, we can gain that same clarity during our times of stillness and quiet contemplation. So we're going to let this lake be our guide today. And secondly, I want you to pay attention to your body and don't force yourself into anything that feels uncomfortable or painful. These practices are designed to help you access and trust your own inner wisdom. So let's practice safely, and we're going to begin with the 10-minute guided meditation, then do about an hour of yoga, and close with an intention painting. Thanks again so much for joining me, and I hope you enjoy. This meditation is designed to bring deep relaxation to your body, mind, and spirit. Harness restorative earth energy, and discover an intention to nurture you through this winter season. We will use the imagery of a quiet lake as our guide, inviting us toward reflective stillness. Begin by laying down in a comfortable position. Be sure to cover yourself in a blanket or sweater if it's cold where you are, and use pillows or blankets to cushion your neck or place under your knees, so you can fully relax and let go of all stress and tension. Close your eyes and lips gently, and bring your attention to your breathing. Don't try to control or alter it. Simply observe it flow in and out of your body through your nose. As you inhale through your nose, notice your lungs expand. Then notice your chest relax as you exhale gently through your nose. Place one hand on your heart and another hand on your abdomen, and bring your attention to the gentle rising and falling of your hands as you breathe. Continue observing your breath, inhaling easily and exhaling without straining. Notice your breathing become smooth, deep, and even. Breathe into the center of your resting body, imagining your breath as a soft, soothing light. Each breath creates more stillness, more peace, and more relaxation. Bring awareness to your feet as you breathe, allowing them to relax and thanking them for their connection to the earth that grounds your body and carries you through your days. Now bring your awareness to your legs and hips. Feel them relax and thank them for the stabilizing work they do to provide safe movement for you. Now feel your abdomen, chest, and all the muscles of your back relax, sending gratitude toward each part as you notice them grow still, heavy, and quiet. Now notice your hands, arms, and shoulders relax, and thank them for all that they allow you to do. Feel the stress release from your neck and scalp, and notice the tension easily fall away. Feel all the muscles in your face smooth and relax. Your body and mind are at peace. Now imagine you are sitting outside, bundled up in the warmest, softest blanket in the crisp early morning air, waiting for the sun to rise over a beautiful lake. You smell a warm fire burning and the fresh scent of the evergreen trees that line the shore. It is completely silent and still dark out. All is still. The earth is at rest. As you gaze out over the dark water, the sky gradually becomes a little lighter. It is now dawn, and the dark shadows surrounding you begin to gain form and color. You begin to see golden early morning mist hanging over the glassy lake. As the sky becomes lighter, you see the lush green trees appear with their mossy trunks, along with their perfect reflections in the smooth water. The air is completely still, without a single breeze blowing. As you peer over the edge of the dock into the clear, still water, you see glimmering fish swimming peacefully through submerged reeds. Gradually, gently, sunlight appears between tree branches, lighting the mist and lighting the water. As the sunlight illuminates the mist, you hear a single word carried on the newborn morning air. This word is an intention, a gift from your highest self to nurture you through the cold winter. You feel completely clear and peaceful, and with this word as your anchor, you continue to watch the morning unfold, fully at peace and fully relaxed. You feel gratitude for this clarity and hopeful that this intention will illuminate your path with warmth and light throughout this season, no matter how dark or cold things may feel. As you draw inward this winter to rest and reflect on where you've been and where you're going, you feel serene and balanced as you recognize and honor rest as an important part of the cycle of your days and weeks and months. The sun continues to rise, and with it, the energy in your body returns very calmly and very gradually until you slowly open your eyes, remember your intention, and thank yourself for taking the time to make this inner connection. Now come take a seat on your mat if you're not already there, and we'll begin the yoga portion of our workshop. This is yoga for relaxation, so it'll be nice and slow, and you'll want to grab some blocks, blankets, and pillows, whatever you have to cushion and support your body through these poses. So begin by closing your eyes, gently inhaling and exhaling through your nose throughout this practice. Remember the intention that you discovered during your meditation. Bring your hands to your heart in Anjali Mudra. Ground down through your sitting bones. Continue inhaling, exhaling, peaceful, even breaths. Open your eyes, and we're going to begin with Brahmari Pranayama, which is a bee breath. So sit in a comfortable cross-legged pose, whatever is comfortable to you, and you're going to place your thumbs inside of your ears, just really gently plugging them, and then place your pointer finger over your eyes, and then the rest of your fingers on down over your face and around your lips. And you're going to take an inhale, and on the exhale, with your lips closed and tongue pressing on the roof of your mouth, just make a buzzing sound. So inhale. Inhale again. Inhale again. Inhale again. One more time, inhale. release your hands from your eyes. We're going to do the Dhyana Mudra, which symbolizes an empty bowl. So place your left hand below your right hand and bring your thumbs together and let it rest gently on your lap. Mudra is yoga of the hands, and so this one is for letting go, for contemplation, and forgiveness. So see yourself as an empty bowl. Continue to inhale and exhale out of your nose. Keeping your breath even, not forcing anything. Now open your eyes, and on your inhale, raise your arms overhead. Exhale, drop your right hand to your left knee and twist open toward the right. Inhale, return your hands to center. Exhale, drop your left hand to your right knee and twist open. Now inhale, bring your hands together in the center. Now drop your hands and twist open toward the right. Inhale, return your hands to center. Exhale, drop them to your knee and twist open toward the left. Inhale, return your arms to the center. Exhale, twist open toward the right. We'll stay here for 3 breaths. Make your spine long as you breathe. Inhale, bring your arms together overhead. Exhale, drop your left hand to your right knee and twist open. We'll stay here for 3 breaths. With every inhale, let your spine grow taller. And every exhale, twist a little more. Inhale, bring your hands to the center and bring them down to your heart. Now come to your hands and knees, and we'll do some rounds of cat-cow breathing. So inhale, lift your eyes and your hips and drop your belly. Exhale, squeeze your abdomen in and arch your back. Inhale, lift your eyes and your hips. Exhale, arch your back. Inhale, drop your belly. And exhale, squeeze it in. Inhale, lift your eyes and your hips. Exhale, squeeze in your belly. Inhale, lift your eyes and your hips. Exhale, arch your back, squeeze your belly in. Now step your right foot up between your hands, coming into a low lunge. Making sure your knee is over your ankle. You can wiggle your foot to make small adjustments. Pad up your back knee if it needs to be padded. Now raise your arms overhead. And breathe deeply, feeling a long stretch. And and the front of your left hip. As you continue to breathe, drop your hands to the mat with your left hand on the mat and your right hand reaching up. Twist open to the right. Now return your hand to the mat and straighten your right leg and fold over the leg in a half split. You can experiment with flexing your foot and leaning further over your leg or coming up out of it, whatever feels comfortable and gives you a stretch in your hamstring. Now return to your hands and knees and bring your left foot up between your hands, coming into a low lunge. Place your hands on your knee and sink forward as you breathe, feeling the stretch in your hip. Lift your arms overhead and continue breathing into your hip. Maybe sinking further into it as your breaths get deeper and deeper. Drop your right hand to the mat and lift your left hand, looking up at your hand or the ceiling if it feels okay on your neck. Breathing into the nice spinal twist. Now straighten your left leg and fold over it in a half split. You can come as far forward as is comfortable. You could even rest your hands on blocks or come down on your elbows, depending on how flexible you are. As long as you feel a nice stretch in your hamstring. Now return to your hands and knees. Spread your knees a little bit wider and come down into child's pose. Stretching your arms forward, letting your forehead relax into the mat. Breathe deeply here. Come back up to hands and knees, and we're gonna do pigeon pose. I like to put a block under my thigh when I do this because it keeps my hips level. And this is a pose that's very important. If you have any pain in your knee, come out of it and do another hip opener that you know, or just continue resting in child's pose. But we'll start with our right leg. And you can bring a blanket or a pillow in front of you and rest your forearms down on it. Be sure your left leg is stretched straight back behind you. Just breathe into your right hip, keeping your right foot flexed to protect your knee. Grabbing another pillow so I can come all the way down. Rest here. Notice any emotions that may arise. Breathe your deep, soothing breaths into your hip. Now slowly begin to come up. Gently bring your right leg back. Move your block or pillow out of the way if you're using it and come into child's pose. Rest for a moment here. Inhaling, exhaling. I will move to the left side. So even if your right knee felt fine, if your left knee hurts when you do this, again, come out of the pose. Prop up your hip with a block or a pillow if it helps you keep your hips even. Breathe deeply and come down onto your forearms if it feels comfortable. Breathe into your hip. Every inhale, it opens more and more. If you'd like to grab a pillow and come all the way down if you're not there already, and lay your face down. Release all the tension that you feel. Concentrate your breath, your energy on your hip, letting it release and open more and more with each breath. Slowly begin to come up off of your pillow. Move your pillow blanket out of the way. Bring your left leg back. Come into child's pose. Letting your forehead sink into the mat. Feeling your low back release and stretch. Slowly come up to a seated position, and you're going to set up a reclined bolster for yourself. So I'm using blocks with the furthest one higher, and I'm going to put a pillow and a blanket on it. But if you have a bolster, it's easy to just on one end put a block or another cushion underneath it, so you have a slightly angled, cushy surface to relax on. Now come to a seated position and stretch your legs forward. If you want to use a strap or a scarf, I'm going to wrap the scarf just around my feet and pull them back. So we're in Dandasana, staff pose. As you breathe, slowly come forward, folding over your legs. You can continue holding the strap, or you can grab onto your feet or legs, whatever feels comfortable. Now come up and bend your left leg, leaving the strap around your right foot, and fold out over your right leg. Continue your deep breaths in and out of your nose, focusing on each one. Now switch sides, bend your right leg and fold out over your left leg, grabbing onto your strap or your foot or your leg. Notice your smooth, even breaths. Notice the sensations that arise in your body as you slow down. Now come back up to a seated position, and I'm putting a blanket on my right side because we're going to do a reclined tree pose. So lean back on the cushions that you've created and bend your right leg and let your knee fall open. can rest on your blanket or pillow. You can make little movements and adjustments. If you need to adjust your cushions under your back, go ahead and do that so that they're really comfortable. The lowest block or the base of the cushion should be just right above your sacrum. And then the top should be right under your head so your neck feels supported. Just let your leg fall as open as it wants to. Let your arms rest, your hands, palms up. Slowly straighten out your right foot, switching your blanket or pillow over to your left side. Bring your left foot to the inside of your right thigh. Readjusting your cushions if needed. Just let your left hip open. Relax into the mat. Feel all the muscles in your body begin to still and quiet. just like a tree over that lake from our meditation. Your breathing is peaceful. Your body is still. Now move the blanket from your knee and bring your feet, the soles of your feet together, and let your knees fall open. Reclined butterfly pose, Supta Baddha Konasana. You can place pillows or blocks on the sides of your knees if you would like some more support. Just let your legs fall open. Now slowly roll off to your left side and come up to a seated position, moving your blankets. I'm folding a blanket and just putting it off to the left side of my mat. I'm going to keep the pillow to lay on in a minute. So lay down on your left side and keep your left leg straight and bend your right leg and place it on the blankets. You can lay down on your arm. Just breathe and rest here. Bring a pillow up under your chest. You can experiment with stretching your right arm overhead, letting it fall down to the side. Whatever feels good and relaxing to you. Close your eyes. Sink into the floor. Now straighten out your right leg, and in the same position, bend your left leg. Relax. Feel how slight changes can target different muscles. Now slowly come up. We're going to switch sides, so bring your blanket or pillow onto the other side of your mat and lay down on your right side with your right arm stretched overhead. Bend your left leg. Relax into the mat. Adjust your pillows and your blankets as needed. Get comfortable. Continue breathing deeply and evenly. Now alternate the position of your legs, so straightening out your right leg, straightening out your left leg and bending your right leg to rest it on the blanket. Now slowly come up, move your blanket off to the side. We're going to come to legs up the wall pose. So bring your right hip against a nearby wall and bring your legs so that they are resting on the wall. Your hips don't have to be all the way against the wall. This is Viparita Karani. So this pose is to reverse the actions that happen when we're sitting and standing. And this calms down our nervous system. So it's a great pose for relaxation. You can try resting your arms in different ways, either with your palms up, or you can try bending your arms like cactus arms. place one hand on your heart and another on your stomach. Whatever feels comfortable and restful to you. If you don't happen to have a wall nearby, you can rest your legs up on a chair or a bed, with your legs bent, with your knees bent. Whatever you have on hand still has the same soothing effect. Now let your legs fall open, still against the wall. You can make them as wide or as close together as you'd like. As you relax, you'll find that they'll probably continue sliding down, more and more open as you keep breathing. A reclined pose like this can really isolate the muscles in your legs. So it's a good thing, but you'll also want to be sure that you're not overstretching. So if it becomes too intense, bring your legs back together slowly. Otherwise, let them fall open. Enjoy the stretch. Enjoy your breathing. Enjoy the floor beneath you, supporting you. Now slowly bring your legs back together. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees open. Another version of Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined butterfly. Relax. Let your breath become smooth and even. Now bring your knees back together and slowly roll off to your left side. We're going to come into our final resting pose. So you'd like to get a blanket to cover yourself with. Let's have it on hand. First, bend your right knee and bring it to your chest. Now twist over to the left. If you'd like to grab a blanket to rest your leg on, go ahead and do that. Now look over your right shoulder for a gentle final spinal twist. Twisting is so good for your spine, for creating space. It's great for your digestion. Straighten your right leg. Move your blanket over to the other side. Bring your left knee into your chest. Now let your left knee fall onto your right side. Open your arms and look over your left shoulder. Gentle twist. If you'd like to bend your right leg too, feel free to do that. Now slowly bring your Knees into your chest, laying flat on your back, and stretch your legs out flat on the floor. Cover yourself with a blanket if it's cold. Let your knees and your feet fall open. With your hands facing up, close your eyes. Just let your whole body relax into the mat. Shavasana. Feel your feet, your legs, your hips relax, grow heavy. Feel your spine, your shoulders, arms, and hands relax, sink into the mat. Feel your neck relax. All the muscles of your face smooth and relax. Now rest. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Stretch overhead. Roll off to your left side, thanking yourself for the time that you've spent relaxing your body. Slowly come up to a seated position, with your eyes still closed. Bring your hands to your forehead. May we see clearly. May we speak the truth with love. And may we live with hearts full of gratitude. Namaste. We're going to begin our intention painting now, so grab your paper or canvas, whatever it is you want to paint on, and get your paints and brushes and jar of water ready. I just have this canvas that's been painted on many times before. I just painted over it with white. Wanted to see what the texture would do here. But you're gonna get a pencil and make a horizontal line just right in the middle across your canvas. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then write your intention word that you discovered in the meditation just all over the canvas. And write any related words, anything that you really want to bring in this winter season. So mine was music, so I'm writing all sorts of things like sound, mantra, song, sing, piano, healing, listen. So anything that is related to you that you connect with right now, just send your energy into the intention and just write it all over your paper or canvas. This is kind of an interesting one for me because my other ones this year were more like vague, like joy or peace or passion. And this one is a very specific tool, so I'm looking forward to using and exploring music in a more intentional way this winter. So this will be your touch point, what carries you through the season. And I didn't include a drawing for this one because I wanted it to be a little more intuitive, and I want you to really focus on the process of putting brush and paint to canvas and not focusing so much on how it looks. So to start, I'm just putting a little patch of land. So just that middle line is our reflection point. So that's the lake shore. So whatever you paint or draw on top, you'll want to reflect it on the bottom. So this is our reflection painting. So I have my paints here. I'm going to be using just white, ochre yellow, phthalo blue, and burnt sienna because I really like those colors, but feel free to use whatever colors you feel like this is your painting, and so you just explore different colors and see what feels good to you. So I'm starting out by just mixing a little ochre, yellow, and white. And that's going to be my sky. Use whatever size brush. I like to keep these intention paintings pretty loose, and what helps with that is to maybe use a bigger brush than you would otherwise use. Especially if you are kind of a perfectionist that's about tiny details, maybe try something looser and bigger, a little more free, and see what happens. So as I get paint on my brush, I'm just adding it onto the canvas, and then whatever I do to the bottom half, I'm going to do to the top half soon after. So throughout this painting, I'm just going to be talking my way through this process, and feel free if you want to just mute this part and turn on some music that you love, if you want to just go for it. Otherwise, stick around, you'll just hear some of my musings. I used to live near this lake, and I would love going down there in the morning when the sun was rising above the trees. So that reference photo that's in your packet, that is from that lake. And that is what I'm loosely basing this painting on. Now that I'm painting this, I'm seeing that the sky is going to be very, very warm, and I think I like it that way. Just because it's really cold where I am right now, and in the winter time, I think it's important to do things and wear things and drink things that make you warm. I always have tea all winter. A lot of the myths and celebrations during this time of year are focused on light. Solstice is the shortest day of the year, and after this, the days will start getting longer. So it's like a celebration of the return of the light. And then Christmas, of course, celebration of the newborn sun, S-O-N, S-U-N. And Hanukkah, that's the festival of lights. A lot of cultures across the globe have this theme of light and warmth during this time. So it's a nice time to take a little bit of time learning about how people celebrate around the world, and then consider what makes you feel connected to the warmth and what makes you feel connected to the light, whatever it may be. For me, that includes a lot of candles, a lot of warm baths. Like I said, a lot of tea. And then this painting itself is turning very warm. Because that's what we need in the wintertime. As you're going, if you want your brush to slip around more easily, don't be afraid to load it up with a lot of paint. Or if you like to paint thinner, just dip your brush in a little bit of water. It'll glide over the canvas a little more easily. I'm using acrylic paint, which dries very quickly, so the thicker you put the paint on, the easier it is to kind of blend it together. But like I said before, this painting, it's not important how it looks at all. It's just how it feels to you and how you're directing your energy into it, into your intention. I'm a big believer that the more different ways you can direct energy into something, so we have this intention, we visualized it in a meditation, we have written it on the canvas, we've thought about it while we are doing yoga, and you can say it, you can turn it into an affirmation or a mantra for yourself. I think the more senses that you can get involved with your intention, the more powerful it can be. So now I'm just adding straight ochre yellow to make the little land. I'm going to add another patch of land to the other side. Just make it thin out in the very middle. Now I'm taking a smaller brush and I'm going to get a darker color for my tree trunks. And I'm going to use just straight phthalo blue because I love that color. We'll see how it mixes around because my paint is pretty thick and still wet, so might get some interesting blending going on. I'm just going to start putting straight tree trunks, or as straight as I can. You'll see that they are very wavy, and it doesn't matter. Excuse me, I'm starting with burnt sienna, not phthalo blue just yet. So whatever line I put on the top, I'm going to add to the bottom, so it is a reflection. Don't forget to breathe. Remember to take your deep breaths. It's hard for me sometimes to remember to breathe when I'm doing artwork, but it really helps make it a lot better. Just stagger the heights of your tree trunks. Don't worry too much how they look. This is your painting, so feel free to add any symbols, any shapes that you connect to. Make it any style that you feel like doing. I don't know if I said this before, but for the top of the sky, that's also burnt sienna. I just had my ochre, yellow, and white, and then I mixed burnt sienna into that. And the very top is just burnt sienna and white. So that's what gives you that nice salmon type color. Don't worry if your lines are straight or not. Mine aren't very straight at all. I almost like the wavier ones. It gives it a more dreamlike quality. Now I'm using phthalo blue. I'm just going to go right over top of the burnt sienna. Don't feel like you have to stay with the video. It goes fast or as slow as you would like to on this. Just about relaxing and enjoying yourself, pushing some paint around. There's no wrong way to paint. If there is, I would say it's if just being overly stressed and tense. That would be the only wrong way I could think of. I'm going to add more of the phthalo blue onto my lake shore. I grabbed a little bit of white just to define my line so I don't forget where it is. My yellow is still kind of wet, so as I put the blue into it, there's some green spots, which I don't mind. I try not to have too much of an idea of what this should look like before I started. But whatever idea I had, this is very different than what I thought I might do. So it's always interesting to just see where the painting takes you and see where your mood takes you. I'm starting on the trees now, and to do that, I just very randomly take with the edge of the brush and push it so it's angled upward at the top and then angled more horizontally as you move down the tree. As long as you have some shapes going out at different random angles, it'll look enough like an evergreen tree. So the rest of this is just slowly building the branches off the trees. You can see some of my blue is turning light because the sky behind it is still wet. So depending on what kinds of colors that you have, you might get some interesting combinations. Some other interesting midwinter celebrations around the world include, in Japan, this time is sacred to farmers, and something that they do is they light bonfires and they soak in a hot citrus-scented bath. That sounds amazing right now. A lot of good oranges this time of year. And then a lot of the traditional Christmas celebrations can be traced to Yule, which is a 12-day Scandinavian celebration. That's where the Yule log and Christmas trees and wreaths can be traced to. I think originally it had to do with the god Odin. And then Iranians celebrate the victory of Mithra, the sun god, over darkness, also on this day of the solstice. And their tradition is they gather with family and feast and read poetry together. It's another beautiful tradition. And then many of the indigenous tribes of North and South America celebrate this day. It's a celebration of the return of the sun, and there's ceremonial dancing. And then in places like Machu Picchu and Chichen Itza, there is on the solstice and equinoxes, the shadows and the light aligns on the structures in certain ways. And I can't remember if the snake slithers down the steps on the solstice or equinox. I'll have to look that up again. But a lot of the ancient ruins, Stonehenge too, they're aligned so that at certain times of year, including the solstices and equinoxes, the Chinese midwinter celebration is also a gathering with family, and they have this special rice ball recipe that they make. This is definitely an interesting winter holiday where a lot of us maybe aren't having the typical gatherings and celebrations, which is kind of nice in some ways, as the season can feel really frenzied usually, although nature, if we're taking our example from it, this is the time where everything dies and it rests and it goes into hibernation mode. So it's important to take our times of rest and retreat. All the R words are great. Rest, relaxation, renew, release. This is our time for surrender. This is a time where we can do our inner reflection. It's another reminder to keep breathing, keep taking deep breaths as you focus on your intention. You're getting your trees on the canvas. Now that the basic tree shape is on, I am going to get a little bit of burnt sienna and place it on just little areas. This is actually a mix of burnt sienna and phthalo blue. That's why it's so dark. I have just straight burnt sienna. I'm just going to add it in areas to see how it looks. I'm washing off my brush because I want to get some white eventually and put it in the water, add some more reflections. First, I'm going to add a little more burnt sienna onto the trees though. feel like this is getting pretty close to being done. Feel free to stop and take pauses during your painting just to kind of consider where it is and maybe listen to it. See if it wants more. I'm going to add some white little reflection onto the water. It's not going to stay white though because a lot of the paint is still very wet underneath. Just making horizontal lines with my white brush. If there's too much colored paint on it, then I will just wipe it off between strokes on a paper towel. I'm getting my brush a little bit wet and maybe adding some thicker strokes to the water. Don't be afraid to experiment. If there's something you want to try and see how it looks. Everything can be painted over if you do something that you really don't like. But again, this is just about playing. This is about enjoying the process. I feel like this is pretty close to being done. The only thing I might try is to add a little bit of mist to the water, which I don't know how well that'll work with the still wet like this. Now again, I just have some watered down white. I'm going over these spots. decided I want to blur the trees and the water just a little bit more and see what happens. For a more realistic look, you would take the sky color, like you'd get some yellow and white and use that to blur. Because I'm using white on the blue, it's turning it into this nice light blue color that I like. But if you're interested in making yours look more realistic, use your sky tones to blur the trees. And don't forget to smile while you paint. It's too easy to be overcritical of ourselves when we create things, even when we know it's just for fun and it's just for us. It's a good lesson, but a hard one to practice, just surrendering to the process, surrendering to the experiments and letting go of the outcome. That's what wintertime is all about, going inward and being really gentle with ourselves. So I hope we can all remember to do that this season. We've all just nearly gotten through one of the strangest years ever, so we can cut ourselves some slack and take the needed time to relax and recharge. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you all have a beautiful holiday season and that your wintertime is full of peace and joy and love. Thanks again.